so the last thing we're focusing on this chapter is difference of squares. And so this is when I have two perfect squares being subtracted from each other and no middle terms. What are my perfect squares in general? So what numbers are perfect squares? 1, 4, 9. You guys know how I'm coming? Yeah. 16. 25. No. 36. These are, the perfect square is found by taking a number and multiplying it by itself. So this is 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, 4 times 4, 5. So, what would my next number be? 49. Okay. My next one is 8 squared. 9 squared. 81. 10 squared. Okay. 11 squared. And 12 squared. Okay, so my rule is if I have two perfect squares, so it's going to be in the form a squared minus b squared, I can either write it as a minus b times a plus b, or I could flip the order of those. I could have a plus b times a minus b. Bless you. Okay, so on number 1, what is my a value? What's the square root of x squared? X. And the square root of 4? No, I'm just going to look at the number ignoring the sign. So the square root of 4 is? Square root of 4 is 2. I'm looking for what number times itself equals 4. So then I'm going to have x minus 2. Oops, that should be an x. X plus 2. Okay, so on number 2, what is the square root of 25m squared? 5m. And the square root of 64n squared? 8n. So then just plugging into my formula, it's going to be 5m minus 6n. And then 5m plus 6n. 8n, you're right. I don't know where I was getting 6 from. Thank you. So, on number 3, are these perfect squares? No. What do I need to do first? So I need to factor out my GCF first. So, yep. My largest number that divides both 8 and 72 is 8, and they both have at least one x. So I want to go ahead and write 8x. What's 8x cubed divided by 8x? X squared. What is 72xy squared divided by 8x? So what's 72 divided by 8? 9, and then I just have the y squared. Okay, so now what is my a value? So what's the square root of x squared? And the square root of 9y squared? Someone other than that? So then I'm still going to have my 8x up front, And then I'm going to have x minus 3y, x plus 3y. Okay, so if I have two perfect squares, they should always be subtracted. There is no such thing as a sum of squares. So if I have a squared plus b squared, it is not factorable. Then I want to remember to check for a GCF first.